So welcome to the Graduate School 101, hosted by the City University of New York Office of Graduate Studies. So today we're going to talk about why CUNY, why the City University of New York, what are some helpful tips for getting into graduate school, and what are some tips for the actual grad school process, meaning the admissions process. CUNY has over 800 plus graduate degree programs. We have over 30,000 graduate students, 200 plus certificate programs, as well as over 100 countries represented within our network of graduate students. So we're very diverse here, and we take pride in everything that CUNY has to offer. So why graduate school? So graduate school, while it might be a daunting process, as you know, it can improve your career if you have one already, or you can start a career with career preparation. So social work, teaching, law, and healthcare, those are some important career fields that do need a master's or doctoral degree. So this graduate degree that you may obtain does not automatically lead to promotion in title, salary, or responsibility, but it can be personally rewarding and professional as well. The graduate education requires a significant investment of your financial and personal resources. So it's great that you guys are taking out the time now to figure out the graduate school process. So here's a chart about the unemployment rates and earnings by educational attainment from the Bureau of Labor Statistics in 2017. Here you can see this is data from persons aged 25 and over. So these are earnings for full-time wage and salary workers. As you can see, the higher you go within a degree, the more your usual weekly earnings will be. So at CUNY, we offer master's and doctoral degrees. Here is a snapshot of the master's degrees that we offer. So we offer a Master of Arts, Science, Public Administration, Public Health, Urban Planning, Social Work, and Education, just to name a few. Our master's degrees are usually 30 to 45 credits, depending on the program. They can be 2 years full-time, and for the most, 3 to 4 years part-time. Our doctoral degrees, we have PhDs, physical therapy degrees, public health, and nursing sciences. Our doctoral degrees are usually 5 to 7 years at max. You can do this full-time, or you can do it part-time, depending on the master's program that you were previously in. And 80% of our PhD students are fully funded. We also offer advanced certificates, which can be very useful for education and other fields. So choosing a graduate school. So now that you have at least identified your specific area of interest, it is now time to define your goals. How long will it take you to obtain this degree? Are you going to go part-time or full-time? Researching the programs are very important. We do have our brochure listed on our website that you can take a look at after this presentation and see the different degrees that we offer. If you can find a faculty member who share your interests, that will also aid in choosing an appropriate graduate school for you and program. And do you have any advisors in the field that you're considering? This will aid you in helping to narrow down your choices. As far as creating a strong application, these are some things that you just need to get started with. Personal statement, an addendum or an addenda, which is also called an optional statement, a resume, letters of recommendation, standardized testing if needed, writing samples if needed, and all transcripts from all coursework done within your undergraduate degree. So as far as the personal statement, it is best to plan ahead. On all of our colleges' websites, you can go on the admissions portal and you will notice that they will have the personal statement section listed. You can actually take a look at the questions that they will be asking you, and you'll get a feel for what it needs to be done for your personal statement. They also require that you have word and page requirements. It is always best to follow that. And seek help. Once you decided on a topic for your personal statement, if the question was not given to you by the college, you can definitely go to your nearest college, your undergraduate college, and speak with the Writing Center to have them review your personal statement. This will give you leverage, and you can actually see what you may not have seen before. The addendum and addenda section, this is an optional statement. If you had a discrepancy within your transcript, let's say you had a failing grade or you had a fluctuation within your grades, this is where you can write about what happened. Making an excuse would not help this situation, but if you definitely just own up to your responsibility of what happened, maybe you were sick or something happened that you dramatically had to drop a class, it's best that you just talk forward about it. And this statement can be anywhere from a paragraph to a page, nothing longer. As far as the resume, we would like all of our students to upload a resume. So uploading a resume, whether it's PDF version or you can actually fill in text boxes of your latest work that you've done or where you've worked and your requirements and achievements. For letters of recommendation, CUNY requires at least 2 to 3 letters on average. And we would like this from a professor if you just graduated within 3 years, a supervisor, or a colleague in the field which you're considering. So if you are currently in the education field and you have a colleague that is above you or a supervisor, that is someone that can ideally write your letter of recommendation for you. And if you just graduated from college, a professor, it doesn't have to be in the same field that you're considering. Let's say you were a biology major, you do not have to have it from a biology major teacher. As far as writing samples, some of our programs, they do require a writing sample, whether it's the School of Journalism, which is very known for that, film and media, and PhD programs. Usually you will see on the application process if it is required for a writing sample. Standardized testing. So this is something that is required at most colleges regarding programs. So not every program within CUNY requires a GRE, GMAT, or LSAT. So you'd have to please check with the Office of Graduate Studies at the individual colleges. Transcripts are also needed. This you can do when you go back to your institution. You can ask them for a transcript and you just give the college information in which you would like to attend. There's usually a fee for obtaining your transcript, usually $5 or more, depending on the college. Our application price holistically is $125 per college. So this is per college, per program regarding our CUNY graduate programs. So as far as the GRE is a standardized test required for admissions to graduate and business schools around the world. While not necessarily required by every school, the GRE is the most broadly accepted exam for graduate schools. So the exam is $205. It is computer and paper-based exam. So this exam, you can find it on ets.org/GRE. This is where you would apply for the exam, pick a date, as well as pay for the exam, and you'll receive your scores in this same area. You can take this GRE up to 5 times within any continuous rolling 12-month period. And there's also an on-screen calculator, and you have 3 hours and 45 minutes with breaks for this exam. Once again, if your program does not say that there is a GRE requirement, then there is none. So we have 3 sections within the GRE. It is quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, and analytical writing. So our verbal reasoning portion has reading comprehension, text completion, and sentence evaluation. The quantitative reasoning is arithmetic, algebra, geometry, and data analysis, which is all included within that section. And for your writing section, you have 30-minute tasks to analyze an issue as well as an argument. So the scores listed next to it, 130 to 170, are the raw scores for each section. And 0 to 6 is a raw section of just raw data. Each GRE test score is reported with a corresponding percentile rank. A percentile rank for a score indicates the percentage of examinees who took that test and received a lower score. Regardless of when the reported scores were earned, the percentile ranks for general tests and subject tests are based on the scores of all examinees who tested within a recent time period. So when you receive your scores back, it would not say, it will give you a raw score, but you'll also receive a percentile rank. As far as the GRE, we also have subject tests. Subject tests are required usually by PhD programs and maybe some master's programs. So you have to definitely check for that. At CUNY, we usually look for the 50th percentile within our GRE if we require them. And as you can see here, it's listed the percentile ranks shaded lighter is 25 percentile, and then 95 percentile gets a darker shade. So this is what a good score looks like overall. Please be sure you can ask any questions within the chat as we go along. So the next exam is the GMAT exam. This is a graduate management admissions test. This is required for mostly all business schools. So this exam is $250. There's a max score of 800, and there's an on-screen calculator. And if you go on mba.com, here's where you can actually find information about the exam and purchase your spot for the exam as well. And you can receive your scores there as well. So the GMAT scores, they also include a percentile ranking just as the GRE, a ranking usually from 25 to 100 percentile. And of course, we here at CUNY, we accept anywhere from the 50th percentile and above. As far as test prep, I'll just say this right now. As far as test prep, we at CUNY, we do offer test prep. It's through our continuing education website within CUNY. Usually given at Baruch College, you can definitely go on our website and look at that for more testing details. You can also do self-test prep where you can go to the library and you can purchase some books, or you can rent some books just so you can see. So for the GMAT, there's 4 sections. There's a quantitative, integrated reasoning, analytical writing assessment, and a verbal section. So again, the raw scores are listed next to it. So for quantitative, it's data sufficiency, problem solving. This is definitely all multiple choice. The integrated reasoning, you have multiple source reasoning, graphics interpretation, 2-part analysis, table analysis, and you also have on this section a writing statement and verbal. If you're interested in law, we do have CUNY School of Law located in Long Island City, Queens, and you do need to take the LSAT. At this moment, they have 5. The LSAT is comprised of 5 35-minute sections, multiple choice, with logical reasoning, analytical reasoning, reading comprehension, and a writing session. So this is given once a month, usually, depending on their schedule. The next exam is actually, that just passed, was July 3rd. It's $190 for each exam that you take. There's also a $5 cash report, which is basically a culmination of all your undergraduate degrees and your LSAT degree to have one holistic view of your application. So this score, there's no percentile for an LSAT. It's just usually 120 to 180. And you can find this information on lsac.org. This, again, is where you can purchase your spot for the exam as well as purchase test prep materials. So now we're going to just talk about financing your education for graduate schools. So for federal aid, we have 4 groups: federal aid, grants and scholarships, internships, fellowships and assistantships, and federal work study. So as you know, mostly these are loans. So federal direct unsubsidized Stafford loan, this is an option that one can take. It allows full-time and part-time students to apply for this loan, and you can borrow money directly from the federal government. And it must be paid back beginning 6 months after graduation or dropping below half-time enrollment. And this has an interest rate of 6.21. Okay. There's also the PLUS loan. So students who are eligible to borrow under the PLUS loan program, up to their cost of attendance minus other estimated financial assistance and direct loan program. The first things first, you do have to complete a FAFSA form so that you can actually see if you're eligible for aid or not. And there are no set annual amounts for PLUS loans, but there is an interest rate of 6.84%. We also have grants. Our grants are usually teach grants, and this is provided by certain locations that have the education degree, the MSED, at Brooklyn College, the College of Staten Island, CCNY, City College of New York, Lehman College, and Queens College. This is usually offered to students who are interested in high-need field areas within education, math, science, bilingual ed, TESOL, foreign language education, and reading specialist, literacy teacher. So these are identified as teacher shortage areas. CUNY also offers scholarships, whether this is a book scholarship that is given individually from the college itself, awards, or special program opportunities throughout CUNY. So this is something that you can either get outside of CUNY scholarships or you can get within CUNY after you get accepted from the university college. Our internships they're subject to approval by the college itself. So Baruch Weissman, they do have an internship for Center of International Business, as well as journalism. The School of Journalism has one with the New York Times. Our fellowships also that you can find on our website, a description of them are listed here. Our assistantships that we have is CUNY CAP. It's an counseling assistance program that are only for CUNY students that have graduated with an undergraduate degree at CUNY. So filling out your FAFSA form is important just so we can see if you're eligible for federal work study. Federal work study is still available at the grad level. You just have to make sure that you have enough funds. And you can find grants and scholarships on our website. It's listed there. If you go to cuny.edu/grad, it should be listed there. And then you can also find information within the tuition section of our website. So here is our tuition. As you can see, so the full-time, our New York State residents have $5,385 per semester. Part-time would be $455 New York State residents per credit. So this is all listed here and is also updated on our website as well. This is for master's and advanced certificates, and this is for the doctoral degrees and the Juris Doctor. So there's a question. You do have to be, if you're eligible, if you're interested in the Teach Grant, you do have to be considering a degree, a master's degree in education. So some factors to consider are deadlines. So for the fall, for our fall programs usually start in the last week in August. So those applications are usually, the deadlines are usually April 1st, April 15th, and extended usually to June 1st. Some colleges, they do have the discretion to have their application deadlines moved a little later. As far as spring, we start our actual spring classes in January, and so those applications are usually due in deadline dates in October 1st and 15th or December 1st and 15th. And non-degree seeking students, they follow the same timeline as well. So now that you've kind of got a view of CUNY and the application process, if you're interested to see what times your courses may be held and days, you can definitely visit this website, globalsearch.cuny.edu. Here you'll find what semesters your program is usually taught, if it starts in the fall or spring semester, and the timing, whether it's evening classes or they're just online. Okay. So here's a recap of today's session. You just have to research the program of your choice. Again, you could visit our website to view our brochure. You can attend an information session at the college of your choice. Usually attending these information sessions, you'll gain an insider's view with the faculty members and maybe students about the program of your choice. Focusing on your personal statement is important. Now that you've listened to this presentation, you can get an idea of how to really focus on your personal statement. If there's any questions after this, you can definitely just email me about the personal statement. You can log into your application portal if needed. If there's a program that you're interested in right now, you can actually log into the portal and you can see everything listed there. The letters of recommendation, it's best to tell them now that you're interested in a certain program so that they're looking for a link to go into your letters of recommendation. Now, the next thing to do is contact your school for your official transcript. You can do this step when you're ready to apply. Once you're ready to apply, this step you can do right before sending in your completed application. Your resume is the next step. It's definitely needed. You can put that in a PDF format or you can type it in. Everything that is relevant to your degree and some things that you find interesting about yourself. And also check to see if there's writing samples needed. If there's writing samples needed, it is best to just continue to write up these writing samples and have someone review it as well. So for our information sessions, if you go to cuny.edu/grad and you click events and then you go to open houses, you would see all of our information sessions from all of our colleges listed there. So Baruch will have information sessions coming up, Lehman College, School of Public Health. They all have our information, their information, as well as a registration link. So if you have any questions, you can call this number or email. And thank you, everyone.